today we're going to work on the Smurf. We're actually probably just going to build the nozzles tonight, or build the injectors, put the nozzles on tonight, and bench them, and then tomorrow night we'll probably put them in. And then we got another set that we will put in this motor, which it's a mess back here. But we got lots of cores for playing around.
So the plan for tonight, we're going to yank the injectors. Well, actually, I lied. We're going to put injectors in this engine. This is the old blue 12 valve. Okay. We got the master fuel engineer. We're going to put some nozzles on these. Are these the industrial injectors or are these the stalkers?
These are just stalkers.
Okay, so we're going to build some.
It's your standard Bosch.
Standard old injector. But I think these are 5x14s.
Yep.
Injector nozzles. Crash. We'll put some nozzles on these injectors and then go over to the bench tester and test them.
Maybe we'll give me a can of WD-40.
Yeah. Alright, so this is the testing unit. It's basically a hydraulic jack that forces, we're just pushing house through it. Screen, gauge, and on here, P-pump, which is what this is going to be, should pop these injectors 3,500 to 3,700. That's pretty close, and actually the last set we built was all within about 100 pounds of each other. But in this case, I'm going to pump this up real quick. You can see this one's popping off a little late. 4,200 roughly. I know that's pretty hard to see, but this is what's happening in the cylinder. Every time the injector fires. So now, what I gotta do is I gotta take this off of here.
Okay, so we just re-shimmed this, and we're just, one shim under what was in it, and this is our completed test. 37
That's
exact.
3,700 even. Well, that'll work.
And yeah, so that's a wrap. By the way, we are going to a sled pull this weekend, and it's in Valier, but we're going to run the 2011 Dodge, and we'll probably run an 84 Chevy, and I guess we'll just see how that goes. But we'll post some videos of that later too. a little bit of videoing. I'm making like 40 some pounds of boost. I do have a BD turbo on this pickup.
On stock head bolts.
On stock head bolts. DGTs aren't too bad. It flows pretty good. Keats are pretty cool. So, well, here's some video. Anyways, tons of engine parts. That's going to go in Drew's pickup now that his engine is kind of toast and transmission and everything kind of blew up. Too much horsepower. That's what I'm going to go with. So we're going to change it over to a Cummins power plant.
With 3/4 ton axles.
Yep.
So we'll stick Dana 60 in the front, probably an 80 in the rear, if I can find one. And,
if not a Dana 70 for now.
70 for now, but.
So yeah, and then we got a couple core motors, extra heads. Hopefully that thing will be going in the V10 soon. I started gutting it.
The goal for that red and black engine is to have that pickup ready for an event in September. So hopefully Hunt for Horsepower doesn't come up on us too fast, but that's the goal anyway. Well, what's going on, everybody? It's the Monday after the pull in Fleer, and I figured I'd go over the carnage with you real quick, since everybody seems to wants to know. So, the first thing that we noticed, well, actually, scratch that, other than the big chunk that came out of the hood, was the frame got bent there. That should be, you know, going in straight direction. That exhaust in the headers is completely trashed. The piece that came up and went into the firewall right there came up and smashed the distributor. So the back half of the distributor's pretty well broke off, and the cap is all broken out. There's pieces of it out on the intake manifold still. Actually, it bent both frame rails. You can see right here where the paint has been pushed out. It's got a pretty big dent in it there. You can see it from up top pretty well too. Let me see if I can actually get you to see that on camera. Focus. No, not there. Nope, not there. Nope, not there. Nope, not there. Well, irrelevant. You can see it right there. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little upset, but like everybody was saying, the piece that came up through the hood was probably the scariest. I mean, sitting in this thing and then seeing a giant chunk of cast iron hanging out of the hood wasn't very interesting. But the piece that goes in the steering wheel came up and hit me in the face. It knocked that insulation off from underneath the dash. I don't know where it came from, but all in all, I'd say I'm pretty lucky, all things considered. Here's all the pieces that we picked up off the track. That's the starter motor. All the bell housing pieces. There's a big chunk of the distributor. All the clutch linkage. More parts, more parts, more parts. Actually, what I should do, I'm gonna put together all the I wanted to do this the other day, but I forgot. I'm going to put together the flywheel pieces. So, as you can see, I don't know if that's entirely how it goes, but that looks pretty good to me. But, man, well, clearly the big hole in the ground was from the big piece. But, there you go.